One of the questions that I will always ask a farmer when I meet with them is what's most important to them, irrigation rate or irrigation timing? I'm going to show you a timing event today because in all of my years in helping to manage water, irrigation timing is one of the most critical elements to our success. The reason being is the timing is going to help us understand how deep we can push water. Even in rain-fed environments, getting the water deep, knowing where our water is, knowing how rainfall is affecting us is critical. So I'm going to show you a timing event from 2 rain events, and I'm going to show you the recommendation that I gave this person to show them how to take advantage of a soil moisture profile that is ready to take on more water. So we're prepping for pollination. It's getting close to that pollination period. We need to be as stress-free as possible. And that's not just having the soil wet, that's having the profile in an optimum condition. So let's go take a look at how to do that. So in this field, you can see that we had a rain event. I'm going to turn the rain totals on here. So we had a pretty good rain event here, a little over an inch. And that rain event infiltrated our top sensor, which in this field is 14 inches. Now, that rain event was a good rain event. My recommendation, though, was to irrigate directly after that because we did not have any increase at the green line, which is actually our 18-inch sensor. We need to drive water deeper. Now, you see this little bump right here. This is actually another rain event, and it was a much smaller rain event, but that rain event infiltrated down into the 18-inch root zone. You can see how it increased that and then dropped right back off. And this is exactly what you would expect to see as the plant goes active and draws water out during the day. So that's what we want to see. We're still not to the full point. We didn't bring that to the full point, but we definitely increased at 18 inches. In fact, it impacted just a little bit down there at 18, 20, 26 inches. So that is really, really, really good. We'd love to see that. So my recommendation is to irrigate again. Now, we had a rainfall event, so we're going to see the impact of this, and then we're going to irrigate again as quick as possible. We're going to push water deep. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to look at that in this graph. This is set up on relative, so all of our full points are being determined. All of our lines are falling towards that full point right there. If I shut this relative off and then go back to my original raw data, you'll see that our blue line is actually our top sensor, but it's a little bit drier than the rest of the soils. Our wettest profile was at the 14-inch level, or excuse me, the 18-inch level here is actually where our wettest profile was until just a few days ago. Now, that has actually drawn back up, and our 26-inch profile is drawing down also. So here again, we have good reason to infiltrate water down to 26 inches. That's really what we want to do. We're only about 18 days away from pollination on this field, so we need to be ready for that as we move forward here. So my recommendation with this is to see how deep we pushed water. We're going to check the last rain event, see how far that goes in, and then we're going to irrigate as much water as possible to drive that water deep. We want that water to go deep into this profile. Right now, we're not getting any water down here to 26 inches. I'd like to see a better impact down here. So that's why we're going to take advantage of the wetter topsoil. We're not going to want this to come all the way down here to this low piece again. We've got this wet now. We're going to try and keep that up there a little bit. Not completely saturated though, because again, saturation takes away oxygen. But we want water to go through the profile. That's the key. Water through the profile. The last water on is the first water out the bottom. That's an opportunity for us to take advantage of refilling and recharging that deeper profile. So that's really what we're looking at here. So when you're looking at your graphs right now this time of year, going into pollination, remember you're irrigating, preparing to pollinate, prep to pollinate. 3 main phases of irrigation: prepping to pollinate, pollination period, and ear fill. When you've got those 3 taken care of, you irrigate a little bit differently for each one. Right now with prepping to pollinate, We want that water to go deep. Completely stress-free pollination period is what we're shooting for. All right, hopefully that makes sense to everybody. If you have any questions, why, give us a shout, and we'll go through this with you in a lot more detail.